Hey everybody, Chris here from Tangle Tackle Sport Fishing up in Manistee. Here's a video that a lot of people have requested where I'm going to talk today about how we tie our tournament style rigs, or two hook rigs some people call them. But a lot of people have been wanting to see this, so we're going to run through that. I know my fishing partner Jim has made another video on our channel regarding the standard tying, and that's done with a little bit more beads and only a single hook. But like I said, this will be the two hook, so if you want to see the other video, if that's the way you like to run it, or if you just want to check it out, take something out of it, go ahead and go to our channel, or stay on our channel rather, and check out that other video. So today, we'll run down real quick about what we're going to need as far as equipment. So we're going to start off with our hooks. And the hooks I really like to use are VMC Spark Point 4X. Number 2s or number 1s. This is a number 1, but I also tie my fly rigs in number 2s. When I say these hooks are sharp, these hooks are sharp. These are the sharpest hooks I've found yet out of a package. With a little touch up on the water, and these things stay sharp for a long time. So again, that's a VMC Spark Point VMC Spark Point 4X in the number 1 or the number 2 size. And that's our bottom hook. For our top hook, I use a 5/0 Gamakatsu octopus hook. And these are tried and true hooks. Gamis have been around for a long time. Another super sharp hook right out of the package. Okay, for leader material, I like using 50-pound fluorocarbon material. There's a huge variety out there for you to choose from. It's up to you what you want to use. Kind of pick and choose, try some out. If you like it, you don't like it. I know what I like. I'm not going to go into some product names here. So, but 50-pound fluoro is really what you want. 40-pound possibly, but you don't want to lose a tournament or lose a fish of a lifetime because your leader material didn't hold up. So hooks, both style, your fluoro material, and then beads. You'll need some beads. I get all mine from Purple Taco Fly Supply. They got a ton of different choices. I got blue, purple, frosted white. These are new. I dig these quite a bit. Orange, blue, green, glow, cat's eye, UV, you name it, they got it. Check them out online, purpletacoflysupply.com. And then you'll also need a piece of tubing. This is just surgical tubing, I believe. And this I also get from Purple Taco. I'm not sure what size it is, but it's their standard material that they use on their tube flies, so you can get it right from them. So that's it. Let's jump into the tying video, and then we'll talk a little bit more at the end of that about leader links, what we like to run, what works for us, and different variations. Okay, so let's jump right into this. This will be the tournament hook rig that we've talked about already, or the two hook rig. So we got our 50-pound fluorocarbon material. A lot of materials out there to choose from. You guys can choose and pick and choose what you like to use. We get our VMC 4X Spark Point hooks. These are size 1s. We also use size 2s like we talked about. Your Gamakatsu 5/0 octopus hooks. And then I've got a ton of beads here from Purple Taco. They've got more beads than you can imagine. I think I've already talked about that. Love these new frosted white beads. These new glow beads. Really excited about those. So those are your standard or your materials that you're going to need. Let's jump right into this and get this thing done. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to take our treble hook, our VMC Spark Point. And you'll see on the Spark Point there's a bump side and a flat side. So we want to concentrate on that flat side to start. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring my end of my leader onto that flat side. I'm going to pinch it right down with my thumb. I'm going to bring my leader around, and I'm going to take the other end and I'm going to put it right through that same hole, same direction. And then I'm just going to lay it down flat just like that. Pinch it down with that thumb again. So now that I have that, I'm going to take this end. And I like to clinch it down in my mouth to keep tension on this, but the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to moisten this up. Always remember fluorocarbon material, you always want to moisten it up because heat is what really damages this stuff. So as you pull this through, make sure to remember that. Go slow, take your time, you don't want to damage your leader. So you're not going to see this, but I'm going to clinch this down in my mouth. I'm going to take this end and I'm just going to start making my loops. And I like to go around 5 or 6 times. get about there, I bring it here, clinch it down with my thumb. I keep tension on it now, and I just start bringing it through. I'll let it go now. Nice and slow. That loop's going to come right up over the top of your thumb, then lock down and complete your snell. So there's your first snell. What I like to do now is I'll take that tag in right there and I'll get my pliers. In fact, I'll do that. I'll grab my pliers. If I can grab it. I'll take that and I'll cinch that down nice and tight. That way there's no stretching that thing when a fish gets on there. It'll stay the same length. So here's your first snell. Trim off that tag end. Make sure you don't shoot yourself in the eye with that thing when it goes. I'll grab 2 beads. Run my 2 beads down my leader. Then I'll take my Gamakatsu octopus hook. When I thread this through, I like to go towards the hook point. So I'll come through towards the hook point. So I'll bring that octopus hook right down to that bottom hook. Now I want to get my spacing. By spacing, I mean I'd like to get that octopus hook right about the middle of that bottom eyelet, or even at the top, somewhere in there is fine. I'll lock down that spacing with my thumb. Take the other end of that leader. I'll bring it right back through again, that same direction. And I like to bring, like I said, towards that hook. So once I'm through, I'll lock that down with my thumb. So I got them both pinched. Make sure you don't get your line caught up in your other hooks. Put some tension on it. And I'll start this loop. And this one can be kind of tricky to start sometimes. It's just the way the hook's designed. But be patient. And take your time. Get really nice, good, clean wraps. 4 or 5 times around is fine. Lock it down with your finger, your thumb rather. Start bringing it through. Let it come right again over the top of your thumb. Tighten it up. And there's your snell, your second snell rather. Get it good tight. You can see I'm just about the top of that eyelet as far as spacing. That spacing's fine right there. So that is your essential tournament tied rig. And what I'd like to do after I do this is I'll take some of this tubing. I get this from Purple Taco Fly Supply. It's just their standard tube fly material. I'm not sure what the diameter is on it, but you can get it right on their website. What I'll do is I'll just snip off a small piece. Actually, I got a small piece right here, about that big. And then what I'll do is I'll run it down my line. And I'm not going to take the time to do this because this takes about 30 seconds or so. But what I like to do is I like to moisten up the top of that hook right there, and I'll slide it down. Okay, so this is our finished product here, and this is with the tubing. I've slid that down, I put it over the bottom of that hook. And now it's going to sit right on that shank of that octopus hook. And what that does is when you're pulling that fly through the water, it's going to keep that octopus hook more in line with that meathead. Well, not with the meathead, I'm sorry, but with the treble hook. So that's just something I picked up online. There's another captain, I believe, over on Lake Ontario that does that same thing. So a great thing to pick up. You can use it. You don't have to use it. I think it adds something to it. But either way, that's the way we make our tournament rigs. That's your end product right there. That's the one we just tied up. So let's go ahead now and talk a little bit about leaders and leader sizes. So that's it. It was quick. I'm pretty sure you caught everything though. It's just tying knots. It's not brain surgery. But if you got any questions or you want me to go over anything again, send me an email at christingletackle@gmail.com and I'm happy to help you out. If you need further instructions on any of that stuff or any of our videos, you can always get a hold of me. So leader links. What we like to do on our boat. 8-inch flashers, 8-inch, we run primarily all Dreamweaver products. So when I talk about flashers, I'm talking about Spin Doctors and their paddles, but there's a lot of other brands out there. So 8-inch paddles, flashers, I like 22.5 inches from paddle, or Spin Doctor to my fly. 22.5 for the 8-inch. For the 10-inch, I like 27 inches. For the bigger paddles, the 11-inchers, I like 36 inches, and those are my standards. If I'm tying stuff at home, I try to keep all that uniform. If I'm tying stuff on the boat, if we're in a hurry and I'm throwing stuff together, just a quick rule of thumb is 3 times the length of the flasher. So an 8-inch, now I gotta do math, an 8-inch would be what, 24 inches, and so on and so on. So that works in a heartbeat, or in a hurry rather. But if you're doing it at home, take the time, do them uniform. I've seen another captain on this on YouTube. I think he's over in Lake Ontario, a guy named Bill Safe, and he talks about, and I hope I said his name right, but he talks about how the devil's in the details. He says that all the time, and it's something I've always thought of too. The small things are what's going to win that tournament or put more fish in your boat. It's those little details that you can create, that you can make happen on your boat with your team or with your family or whatever. So concentrate on some of those small things. So if you're making fly rigs or meat rigs or whatnot, concentrate on making them all uniform, because the key to fishing, for big lake fishing and for really any fishing, it's consistency and repeatability. Because when you get a fish to go, especially when you're salmon fishing, and you realize, okay, that came on that rig and that color and whatnot, at that depth, okay, now I'm thinking about how am I going to repeat that? Did that come on a turn? On a turn on a troll? Was it the outside of the turn, or was it the inside? Was it the fast side or the slow side? So you're thinking about speed. So now you're wanting to think about consistency and repeatability. And like I said, that's really the key here. So colors, lengths, depths, what's working for you? Keep on those things, repeat them. And every day is different out there, we know that. But pay attention to those small things. Okay, thanks a lot, and we'll see you on the next video.